Hello everyone. You may very well have found this channel via a collab I did with Artifexian about non-human conlangs, then come over expecting conlang content, only to find a short joke video from 4 years ago that one commenter described as a place of death. Harsh. To have something to show for myself, I'm gonna put out a couple tidbits about my conlang on this channel, starting with this one, which is about a morphophonological process in that I internally call Ezāfe. Let's start by looking at its namesake, a process found in Farsi and other nearby and related languages. In Farsi, Ezāfe is the addition of an enclitic e or ye to a noun or preposition to express its relation to the following word. For a few examples, we have a noun-noun genitival relation, so dar plus bog gives us darre bog, the door of the garden, a noun and an adjective modifying it, so batche plus kuchik gives us batche kuchik, the small child, and certain prepositions and the nouns they govern, so bost plus chone gives us boste chone, behind the house. As an interesting side note, the Ezāfe morpheme is thought to come from what was once an independent relative pronoun, confer Old Avestan ye and Old Persian haya. This would explain some of the uses of Ezāfe. The child which is small is the small child, that kind of thing. Now let's turn to the equivalent. As we can see, so-called Ezāfe in is used for, among other things, the same three relationships as are most common for Ezāfe in Farsi, a genitival construction of a noun governing a noun, a prepositional phrase of a preposition governing a noun, and an adjective modifying a noun. However, differs in that it does not mark Ezāfe with a concatenative affix, but instead with a change of tone called tone sandhi. Now, we can define tone sandhi as any synchronic tone change triggered by a tone in an adjacent word or morpheme. In some languages, like Standard Chinese, I would analyze this as a form of dissimilation. The example I've seen is the common greeting ni hao, which is composed of the words ni and hao. They both have the falling rising tone on their own, so when put together, the first one is dissimilated to just a rising tone. However, some languages exhibit tone sandhi as an assimilation. To illustrate, look at these examples in Akan, a Niger-Congo language spoken in Ghana and nearby parts of West Africa. When a compound like this is formed, the last tone or two of the first word assimilates in relative pitch to the first tone of the last word. So, for example, onua, sibling, plus odo, love, gives us onuado, brotherly love. Note that this also works with noun-adjective compounds, so junction and for gives us crossroads. One difference between and Akan tone sandhi, though, is that Akan deletes the segment that the tone assimilates to after assimilation. You go from onua, odo, through the presumed middle stage onua odo to onuado. And there are other rules at play in Akan compounds that I couldn't get into here, so check the description for a more complete treatment of Akan. The mechanics of tone sandhi are a little bit different. No segment is deleted, and rather than completely replacing the tone, it's simply modified so it ends where the following word's tone begins. So from love and younger sibling, we get the love one gives to a younger sibling. But one notable similarity is that this particular type of tone sandhi in Akan does not occur in any two adjacent morphemes, only those within compounds. In much the same way, tone sandhi in is involved in a morphological process. It marks words that govern nouns or are described by adjectives. You could say that tone sandhi is the phonological expression of the process of Ezāfe. An interesting result of this system in is that it can be used to identify the subject and object of a sentence. Is VSO, roughly, more on that possibly coming soon, and it doesn't mark case. So how do you tell where the S ends and the O begins? The answer is in the tone sandhi. Take this sentence, for example. The only difference is in tone, but the meaning goes from their lizard is hunting to a lizard is hunting them. Very important difference there. I guess the idea that I'd like to leave you with is there are a lot of interesting ways of showing the relationships between words besides a simple adposition or case, and you should broaden your horizons. whether you're conlanging for humans or other species. Well, that's all I have for today. Until next time, I am